There are two primary reasons why most people don't stand a chance in hell of getting the strength and results they want from their core training, regardless of how hard they work, regardless of what exercises they do, and regardless of what their routine looks like. One of the biggest reasons for this is a lack of progression. Training your abs is no different than training any other muscle group. You want to get a lot of tension in the muscle, you want to fatigue the muscle fairly quickly, and you want to progress the amount of tension in the muscle over how long you can hold that tension for over the course of many weeks, months, or even years. And this video is going to help show you how to do that. And the second reason why a lot of people don't get what they want is poor mind-muscle connection. After all, if you can't really engage your muscles very well, how can you hope to build them to be bigger and stronger? So this first exercise is going to help set you up there. Laying on the ground, feet are straight up, upper body is tucked, kind of like in a crunch position, tensing your abs as hard as you can. We're teaching your ability for your brain to make tension go into a muscle. Also, as a key point with all of these exercises, you have your rectus abdominis, your abs of course, and then you also have your psoas, which is a bit of a hip flexor and attaches to your lower back. If you're feeling stress in your lower back with any sort of core exercise, it means your psoas is kind of the dominant muscle group with this, and you don't have enough tension in your abdominals. So either make the exercises easier, put more tension in your abs, or maybe just terminate the set. Anyway, we're back in this position. Making it harder, bring your upper back onto the floor, legs lowered down, keeping tension in your abs at all times as much as possible, and this will help you get better mind-muscle connection. So that's a good warm-up. I always recommend playing with that no matter how advanced you get. Then we move on to dynamic exercises, laying on the floor, putting the heels are on the floor, kissing the floor, and picking on up. Now remember, your abs are attached to your pelvis. They don't actually lift your legs. They lift your pelvis up. So with all these exercises, you're actually focusing on curling your pelvis upwards, kind of like lifting up your hips, and your legs are secondary concern, even though it looks like that's the main part of the exercise. Make this harder by extending your legs outwards until they're fully straight, and move in a very smooth, controlled motion, keeping tension in the abs very hard from top to bottom of every single rep. From here, we're on to hanging, and hanging is an art in and of itself. What I recommend is try and move away from just the arched back style of hanging, torque the elbows in as much. When you've got enough of a vertical torso, you should feel like you're holding yourself up with not just your back, but also your chest muscles as well. That's usually a good sign that your torso is more vertical, and it's going to help you get a lot more from these hanging knee exercises. So once again, it's the same exact motion. Curl your pelvis on up, pick your knees up as high as you can, pause at the top, come back down. I always think press the feet straight down. And then of course, just straighten your legs out to make it more difficult until you've got straight legs coming outwards. Keep your back tight so that way you're not swinging backwards, your hips aren't kicking backwards. Pausing at the top and coming back down, keeping your feet slightly in front of you is a little easier to maintain tension at the bottom that way. And of course, you can also do your knee raises off of dip bars. This is I find this to be a little bit more difficult, keeping a lot of tension in your back so that way you are not letting your hips kick back as you lift up, but you're actually feeling like you're trying to push your hips forward with the tension in the back. And the same progression with the extension element applies here. Bent knees are easier, 45 degrees, and the more you extend your legs, the harder it's going to be. So there's basic abdominal progressions for you for your abs. Let me know if you have questions, more workout stuff here. Be fit, live free.